we should probably talk about cameras on the smartphones. If we're talking about smartphones, we have to talk about cameras.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right, especially during that time, during the 2012 and maybe to like 2017, smartphone cameras were just insanely changing at a rapid rate because they were trying to figure out how to make that such a tiny sensor look good.
Yep.
And really it just kind of came down to post-processing and AI. But there was a time
that came a lot later, though.
Yeah, but there was a time there where it was just like kind of desperate to find a good-looking cell phone shooter.
It's true. It's true. I mean, and there was a megapixel war for a long time.
Yeah.
That was like the first thing, right? They're like,
It's got 80 megapixels, where this one only has like 24, but like it might actually look better with like less megapixels.
Yeah. Well, so that I think one of the good like examples, or the kind of the interesting examples to examine was the HTC One M7.
Yeah.
Because they came out with this phone, right? And it's a sea of, at this point, like, let's see. During that year, the Galaxy Note 3 came out. And if you don't mind, look up what the megapixel count was on the Galaxy Note 3 real fast. But on the One M7, it was a 4 megapixel camera. And what they had done was they had integrated larger pixels within it so that you could get more light. And this was their whole shtick, right? And they're like, larger pixels, you get more light, this and that. But we're going to keep it 4 megapixel because for whatever reason, they couldn't get away from the 4.
Wow.
And I can remember being like, okay, we're gonna make this work. We're gonna see what it's like. And they kept it at that. And you could just see the difference of not having the resolution there. Mm-hmm. And let's see, I went from the Galaxy S3 to the One M7. And then I pretty quickly in the same year went to the Note 3.
So Note 3 says the main camera, back shooter, is 13 megapixels.
Yeah. So you got a 13 megapixel camera, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to a 4. And at that moment in time, like, it mattered.
Yeah.
Especially because there was not a lot of post-processing happening. Mm-hmm. I mean, you were still like, bought a Samsung, what'd you get? Very vibrant pictures.
Mm-hmm. Very saturated.
Very saturated. Yep. And you got a little bit more, less of that going on with like HTC and some of the other players.
Yeah.
And they were trying to do different camera stuff all the time. Like it was cool and it was different.
Man, when did this come out? 2013?
What, the Note 3?
Yeah.
It had some specs.
Wow. Because that camera goes up to 4K at 30 FPS.
Dude, it was...
that's pretty awesome for 2013.
I can remember it came out and I was like, okie dokie, that's a powerhouse right there. And so I bought one. And it, my favorite thing was it had like a faux leather back at that point still.
Oh, yeah.
With the faux stitching around it.
I remember seeing that. I was a little confused by it, but I was like, I guess that would be good.
It was great.
Yeah. I didn't really understand leather at the time. But
it was more of like, because again, like it was plastic with some like texture on it with a little bit of kind of like a rubber feel. So they tried to make it feel like it, but it was by no means leather.
Yeah. That was the one cool thing about the Moto X that I think it released around the same time. Let me look that up. You keep going while I look this up.
Yeah, you're good. I'm assuming you're going to talk about something about the backs coming off.
Yes.
Yeah.
2013.
So I think the last phone I had, because I don't know if the Galaxy... No, I'm actually pretty sure the Note 3, the back was still popping off of those. I don't remember. I think they stopped doing it on the 5. Okay. So I think it went all the way up to that. But, HTC was an aluminum body... Mm-hmm. And it was one central piece, so you couldn't do any of that. But man, being able to pop the back off and throw a battery or something in, I still miss that.
That was the one things I miss about the LG phones. There was for a while, I forget the name of the line, but you could swap out the batteries. That was like a feature. Yeah, hot swappable batteries.
Yeah.
Which was just amazing at the time because that just used to be a ubiquitous feature pre-smartphones.
Right.
Thanks, Apple.
I know, right? Thanks for sealing everything shut. I will say, if you give me the choice between a removable battery and the water resistance or the waterproof...
it's a big trade-off.
Give me the waterproof. I'd rather have it sealed and give me the waterproof because it's nice to know that I can dunk my phone and not have an issue.
Yeah. So I looked it up. It's the Moto X 2014 variant. So Moto X2, but they named it by year because, I prefer it by year because it's just easier to figure out.
Well, yes.
But they allowed you to have wooden backs, which I did a wooden back on mine. I upgraded immediately. It's like a mahogany, like a dark wood that I got on mine. But
Which
you could
is
also
pretty
get
cool.
leather. And that was like the coolest thing. But I was afraid of it because I didn't know how to take care of leather. And I was like, I don't want to ruin it and have it like peel off. Because I think I might have heard about something with Samsungs that did that.
Probably.
But it was so cool at the time. You could just customize and custom order and have it like blue accents, have the leather backs. And the camera on that was insane. The 2014 version.
Yeah.
That's the one I took to the Grand Tetons. And I took some of the best photos I think I've ever taken with a cell phone there ever.
That's impressive.
Yeah. I bet if I took my iPhone there and took the same shots, it'd probably be even better. But at the time...
Yeah, but think about the jump that we've had since then, right? I think the computational photography is very impressive. I mean...